How is it going, guys and gals and other Pokepals? My name's LacenMC.
And I am RhyQuinn.
And this is the Battle Subcast, the Pokemon podcast that keeps you on the right track. And today, people, God, we're recovering from a terrible crisis in the Battle Subcast. Really sucks. Taylor is not with us today. AmasianTae is not with us today. She is busy doing Asian things. We had a subcast. RhyQuinn, Tae, and I recorded a subcast with a very special guest, Miguel, aka Mega Mogwai. If you guys heard him, you guys are probably really into competitive battling. What an amazing guest. The reason why we're not doing that one today is because I didn't record my own audio, and nobody recorded the Skype call because I asked people not to. Like I said, we lost. It's terrible because I did a lot of the interviewing. I did my news. It's terrible, and I need to get an upload every single week because we want this podcast to be consistent. Regardless, the show goes on. We did have guests. We're having guests now, and just so you guys can have an idea of what we do with those guests, I'm going to just play one question that RhyQuinn asked Miguel, just so you guys can get a little bit of insight on him, and hopefully we can have him back so we can not redo everything, but have a new interview where, we have more experience, and he has more experience with us, and he can open up a bit more, even though he did a fabulous job last time. So just here's a small piece of what Mega Mogwai said to us.
I've been watching Shofu and Hayden, the big guys, for a while, but watching his channel, I got really inspired by it, and it drove me more into the community, and I started watching people like Pokegame and such, and Shady Penguin, of course. I've watched him from the very beginning, I think, and basically all that led to, I don't know, I really enjoyed the game. I've always liked YouTube, and I've always thought about, if I could give it a shot and such, and that kind of like seeing my battle there, I don't know, it kind of inspired me, and it took me a while, but I made the decision to make a channel. I didn't make it right away. Like a lot of people are like, well, yeah, you started. I planned a lot for it. I had to work to get the capture card. I also really planned on what I was gonna do, and yeah, I started. My channel was like, I created it in May, but I started uploading my first upload was in June, actually. And nice. Yeah, that's basically how I started. I'm a guy that battled Edgar, and that motivated me to start. And yeah,
it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's awesome. My first upload was the end of May. My first upload was May 28th. So Miguel actually started just after me.
Yeah, I think mine was towards the end of May as well.
Yeah, but I've been. Yes, mine was a mid June, I believe. I know well that my growth has been quite abnormal. I've been really lucky in that regard. I think I think my content reached the right people, and I think I just got blessed in that regard, and things have been going well. I've always tried to kind of give people a reason to watch me, not be just a copy of somebody else. I think that's pretty big. That would be my advice for any new YouTubers. Don't be Shady Penguin 2, don't be Numb Nexus 2, don't be Show 2. Just have your own thing going, and if people enjoy it, I don't know. If you always stay fresh, you never become stale. I don't know why growth should not come across you.
Exactly. Yeah. That was great. That was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun, and if you haven't heard of Mega Mogwai, please go check out his channel. He has phenomenal content. Anybody who's trying to learn competitive, go to him. I can vouch for RhyQuinn here, and anybody else that you will learn a lot from this guy. So
guaranteed.
You can learn a lot from this guy. Just listening to him in that interview made me a better player. It was really good. So aside from that, RhyQuinn, how you doing, man?
I'm alright. I've been ill this past week, which sucks. Which is why I haven't been able to upload on my channel, haven't been able to stream, haven't been able to do anything, which really blows. But I'm getting better. So Yay!
Yay! I'm feeling a bit sick too. So like my throat, I feel like a throat. I don't even know what to call it. Just like a throat infection, throat weirdness, soreness. I don't know, dude. I feel it coming on. This is what happened. I went to the comic book shop yesterday, and I was playing Super Smash Brothers, right?
Right.
And I picked up this remote from some guy that I don't even know. And then I sneezed, and there was like this really big booger that was just dangling from my nose. So I had to like pick it after I handled this remote. And like my comic book shop, unfortunately, smells like ass crack and chips. I will forever make that joke. And like just these kind of people are kind of filthy. So I know that on contact, as soon as I picked my nose, I was like, damn it, I'm going to get sick. And this morning I woke up with my throat is killing me, and it sucks. You want to keep clearing your throat. It's that kind of thing. What would you even call that? Like
a sore throat.
Sore throat. I guess it feels kind of phlegmy, you know.
Anyway, let's move off the disgusting details.
It's not even that gross. So yeah, I also haven't done much on the channel either. I've been writing a bunch of scripts, to tell you the truth, and you know, work has been kind of busy. But you're working on a monotype team. I know that.
Indeed, yeah. I'm hoping to either today or maybe tomorrow if I get time. Hopefully I can record Monotype Mondays anyway, because I really want to keep that thing going. I don't want to miss a week, because that's like a long time to miss. Like a whole episode. So, kind of the same reason why we're doing this subcast again. I want to keep the Monotype Mondays going, so I'm going to record it today or tomorrow, I think. So, hopefully still have that up on Monday.
I like that series. It's a good series. Your Monotype, what was it? Grass team was interesting to me. I liked it.
That was a fun one. I like that.
It was a really interesting one.
I never got because we're recording this on Friday today, and so we normally record this on Wednesday, which we did the episode with Mega Mogwai. Because we've had to do this other one, we're recording on Friday, so tomorrow, Saturday, I've got my OU Showdown tournament, which will be a lot of fun.
Oh, that's tomorrow?
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
I'm in that, and I haven't built a team yet. I need to.
You need to get on that.
I need to build a team. I'll probably team build today.
And I'm doing that regardless of how I feel, because I need to do that. That's just something I have to do. So I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be awesome. Really look forward to that.
It's in celebration of your 100 Twitch streamers, which is really, really cool. Yeah. Or followers.
100 Twitch followers. So, yeah.
So that's really, really cool.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Anywho.
There's good people in that. Anywho, on Wednesday, we had a Nintendo Direct, and
we did.
Lots of news that didn't really matter came up. I mean, it wasn't anything that we were excited about, but, you know, today, like, the news that was revealed today, Friday, the day we're recording this, it makes up for it. There's a lot more news, and I'm going to read a bunch of crap to you. But I'm also going to cover all of Nintendo Direct, and I'm going to do it as quickly as I possibly can. When I recorded it on Wednesday, I thought I did a pretty good job.
You did. You did fantastically. You even earned a slow clap from Tay, Miguel, and
we
myself.
did earn a slow clap. Man, I wish I didn't lose my audio now. Oh, well, whatever. Moving on to the news.
Get up, bitch, it's the news.
News with LacenMC! Alright, so in Pokemon's news, we have, in Pokemon Oris, we have a lot of Oris news. First off, the Pokemon Company, they dropped a trailer about Hoopa. And it just shows a few moves that he uses against some of the Pokemon, some other ones. And it says at the end of the trailer that if you go to Pokemon.com/Omega Alpha, you can check out some details on that Pokemon. So, seeing how he's such an interesting new legendary, I recommend you go do that. It's a weird move. I can't recall a time they've ever done that, where they encourage all the viewers to go to their website to check out details. They usually reveal details in the trailer and, build some hype.
Yep.
But I guess they're keeping the whole mystery of Hoopa thing. It's a really interesting move. Along with that, Contrary Superior has been released. If you go redeem a serial code Pokemon497, you can go get it. Everybody's going crazy about it, obviously. He has the ability Contrary, and he has the move Leaf Storm. It's a combo. It's quite powerful too. And we'll find this out later on the competitive corner. there is a suspect test on Smogon in the RU tier for Contrary Superior already.
Exactly.
And that's big news. A lot of people, they're really excited about using this guy competitively. We're going to see this guy literally everywhere now. He's even good in VGC, I hear.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very, very interesting. Along with Superior's release, if you have a Japanese copy of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they started their latest event, which offers Embor with its hidden ability Reckless, and Samurott with its hidden ability Shell Armor. Now, I said Reckless for Embor. I'm only saying that because I felt like I said Restless. That's not a real thing. The distribution is obtained via serial code, so if you redeem Pokemon, or the code Pokemon 500, you get Embor, and Pokemon 503, you get Samurott. They're only usable once, and you can get them until November 30th, so you have lots and lots of time. But there's no international release announced yet, so this is just the Japanese copy of the game, if you have it, and a lot of Americans do have it. There's also a new competition within the game that has been announced for Pokemon Oris. It's called Generation Showdown. It's a double battle that allows you to use any Pokemon except the banned Pokemon in VGC, which is pretty much every legendary. It runs from February 5th to February 13th, and you get 1,000 Pokémiles for participating. If you convert those into Pokemon or into battle points from the for the Battle Maison, I'm sure you can get something really, really nice. Maybe
I'm not 100% sure what like the conversion rate is, but I'm sure it's a lot.
I'm not either. I think you can do that in Pokemon Bank, right? Is that that's the app that you use?
I'm not sure how that works actually. I'm really not.
I'm not too sure either, but whatever. More gaming news. Pokken Tournament, the trailer that was never built on, we never got any details for quite some time. We're officially getting details within the weekly Famitsu featuring. It's the online series on Nico Nico, which is the 9th most visited webpage in Japan. It's an online video sharing website that's very similar to YouTube, and that's going to be dropping on January 23rd. So if you want to go check it out, a lot of the page is translated into English. I can't vouch for the video content itself, but if you want to try out the site, all you have to do is visit nicovideo.jp. The links will be in the description of wherever you find this podcast, so either SoundCloud or YouTube. And I don't know if I'm going to be watching that thing live. I'll probably hear about it off many websites. But Pokken Tournament is the Tekken-styled Pokemon game. It's pretty much a game that's a result of Nintendo's desperate attempt to push Wii U sales by having third-party game developers take one of the leading Nintendo IPs, so like Mario, Zelda, things like that, and make a game out of it. That's how Hyrule Warriors came about. The guys who created Dynasty Warriors pretty much made Hyrule Warriors, since that's what Hyrule Warriors is, Dynasty Warriors with Zelda characters. And now the guys who make Tekken are doing that with Pokken. Makes sense. In the anime, we actually have anime news. A new Pokemon movie is about to be released. It features Hoopa, and it's called, excuse my pronunciation, I don't know how to say this, The Archdin of Rings? Is that how you say it? The Archdin?
How do you spell it?
Archdjinn.
Sure.
The Archdin of Rings. If you can help me with how to pronounce that, put it in the comments of wherever you are. That would really, really help.
It'd help both of us.
Yeah, it features Hoopa. It's called the Archdin of Rings, however you say that. Hoopa. It features Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon with shiny Rayquaza.
Oh, nice.
Now, they don't say Mega, just shiny, which is weird. They play a big part in the plot. So, details of how the story starts has been revealed. Pretty much it starts off with Ash and Pikachu eating some donuts, taking a break from whatever adventure they're on. And then a mysterious ring falls in front of them. They're like, oh my god, a donut. Out of this ring, Hoopa appears, and he's like, hey, what's up? I'm Hoopa. And he takes Ash and the whole entire team into a whole new dimension through the same portals that you see in post-game Oris. Mm-hmm. And there they see completely different scenery, including 2 large towers in the distance. That's all that's been revealed.
Wow.
He also ends up in some city that he's been looking for, but whatever. That's pretty much all that's been revealed. It looks like there's screenshots available pretty much everywhere, and you can see the art. The art looks really, really good. So, the animation is probably going to be something worth watching. But,
It's good.
if this follows the same pattern as past Pokemon movies, then it's going to suck pretty bad. So, whatever.
But I'm sure the release of Hooper in the games will coincide with the release of the Hooper movie. I would assume. I think that's probably a thing.
They did that with the Genesect movie where that had Mewtwo Y, so I wouldn't doubt it. And I think they had the Diancie movie released. I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah,
but I know that.
Yeah.
They usually go hand in hand. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But Hoopa will be talking. That's also a thing. All the legendaries in the anime talk. So
of course.
That's going to be a thing. Lastly, this news I'm excited about. The TCG news. Primal Clash is having a lot of pre-release events in many locations. Now, in my area, they have Philadelphia Pokemon. This covers Pennsylvania. They are really pushing sealed pack tournaments. The sealed pack tournaments are pretty much a thing in the pre-release parties that you pay $30 and you receive 6 booster packs, and you make a deck out of those booster packs. The card shops will supply energy cards for you. So you play 4 rounds, and then just by competing, you get 2 other packs, and the winner gets, I think, a booster box, which is 36 packs. That's 360 cards, and there's more than 150 cards to collect in this new set. It's a big set. It boosts a new primal mechanic in the game. It's very similar to Mega Evolution, but it's also not, and it also has beautiful artwork. A lot of the Stage 2 evolutions that would be rares or holos are getting something called large art, where they take up most of the card, just not all of it. So it's kind of like full arts for the EXs and some trainer cards, but they're called large arts. Very, very interesting stuff. And this is, like I said, this is Philadelphia Pokemon, but I'm sure that there's very similar events everywhere. All you need to do is go on Pokemon.com and look up an event that's near you. It's very easy to see. It'll show the city, it'll show the event. You just look for the Primal Clash pre-release, and then you can get into that.
Awesome.
Lots of news.
I need to get back into TCG, man.
The TCG's fun, man. TCG's really fun.
Yeah. I need to start playing again. And I want to start collecting. I just need some money first.
Yeah, it's an expensive game, but it's not as expensive as other games. You know Magic the Gathering?
Yeah.
My local card shop recently bought a card that was over $2,000.
What the hell?
And they sold it for $4,000 the next day.
That's
people
insanity.
Die for these cards, man. Like these cards are so expensive. The most expensive card in Magic I hear right now is around $11,000.
What the hell?
Because it's such there's just some cards. The game is pretty much the guy who wins the game is the one with the most expensive cards, because the expensive cards are the best cards. There's actually competitive viability in it. Like in Pokemon, there's like a Charizard, like from the base set, like the very first set. Everybody's seen the art for Charizard. If I pulled up the card image right now, you would recognize it. Yeah. And that card goes for like $80, $100, only because it's so collectible. But it has to be like in top-notch condition, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
So it's an expensive game. I'm telling you right now, like Pokemon's an expensive game and it's an expensive hobby, but it's worth it. It's fun.
Exactly, yeah. I just need to earn some money.
Yeah, it's expensive.
I want to buy this new Primal Clash and stuff. I want to get into this, but we'll have to see.
Primal Clash is nice. It's very, very good stuff. So after this, I'm going to go into Nintendo Direct news. There's a lot here, so I'm going to speed up the rate in which I talk. All right, then maybe we can build on our conversations here. So here we go.
I'm going to time you.
Here we go. That's good. You got the timer up?
Yep.
Starting with this whole entire Nintendo Direct, they're really pushing the new Nintendo 3DS, which will be available everywhere on February 13, 2015. The new system features a C-Stick for more handling controls, ZL and ZR buttons, enhanced 3D and NFC reader, so like for your amiibos, faster and stronger processor, and a 4GB micro SD stick, which can also be charged using any of the 3DS family chargers, but it's also bad because none of the consoles will come with a charger, so you have to save your charger. games being released on the day of launch are Codename Steam, an adventure shooting game starring Abraham Lincoln, and your Fire Emblem amiibos. Ace Combat featured usage from various amiibo figurines like Mario and Fox, and finally both Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate and The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D have their own 3DS bundles, which you can get on February 13th, and they will be around $200. Very, very cheap. There are lots of games coming to the eShop early this year. Make sure you look out for the platformer Elliot Quest on Wii U, the imaginative masterpiece Black for Wii U, the weirdness that is Citizens of Earth for both Wii U and 3DS, successor to the eShop side-scrolling shooter hit Gunman Clive 2. So Gunman Clive 2 is coming out. Popular first-person shooter Moon Chronicles is releasing episodes 2, 3, and 4 for the 3DS eShop in either separate installments or full season pass. That's really, really cool. It's your own preference. Sega 3D Classics is coming to the 3DS eShop with remade hits like Afterburner 2. Ironfall Invasion is also another eShop title that was announced and that looks pretty epic. Etrian Mystery Dungeon, which is very much like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Fossil Fighter Frontier and Story of Seasons are all dropping in March on the 3DS eShop. Lots and lots of cool games. They also announced Mario vs. Donkey Kong Tripping Stars for both 3DS and Wii U. You buy one copy, you get a free redeemable code to get the other console's version. So pretty much $40 for 2 games. Really, really cool. You build levels, you share levels, you play other people's levels. That's pretty much how the game works. Xenoblade Chronicles is getting a port over to the new 3DS called Xenoblade Chronicles 3D that's being released in April 2015. Along with this new title, Nintendo has announced new puzzle games, Puzzle and Dragon Z, and Puzzle and Dragon Super Mario Bros. Editions, which will be sold in a bundle. Pokemon Shuffle is also another Pokemon game that's being added, which makes Nintendo officially have the rights to say they ripped off Candy Crush 3 times in one presentation. Nintendo is adding support to backwards compatibility by having some control support and stuff. They're also making Super Mario Galaxy 2, Punch-Out, Metroid Prime Trilogy half price on Nintendo Wii U the Nintendo Wii U eShop. Mario Galaxy 2 is released now. Punch-Out will be released on January 22nd, and Metroid Prime Trilogy will be released January 29th. Nintendo is also hyping up the bejesus out of amiibos by making them compatible with an all-new Kirby game called Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, as well as Mario Party 10, which has 3 new party features. You play the classic party mode, then there's something called Bowser Party and Amiibo Party. They're all new fun games you can try out in that game. They're also getting their own line of amiibos, so now we have Smash amiibos and Mario Party 10 amiibos. And it has Mario and Friends, but the newest one is Toad, so it's really, really cool. You can also use your Smash amiibos for Mario Party 10, but it would delete your Smash amiibo data, which is booty. Smash is releasing even more amiibo lines on top of this, which includes Ness, Charizard, Wario, Lucario, and Lucina. There's another one, I forgot who though. Splatoon, the multiplayer game that's coming out for Wii U, is getting more details dropped for it. They have a central HUD that access stores, local multiplayer, story mode, and online multiplayer. So that one's really cool. To commemorate the release of Majora's Mask 3D for 3DS, Hyrule Warriors is dropping a Majora's Mask DLC with a new map and additional costumes. They'll also make Tingle and Young Link playable characters. Finally, Nintendo has announced 3 more games, one being a new Fire Emblem with no official title as of yet, but it's a powerful trailer. It looks really, really good. And another with no known details called Project Treasure, and the other being Xenoblade Chronicles X. The trailer showed off the fact that you can run a lot in the game. Links for everything in the description below, whether you're on SoundCloud or YouTube time.
Are you done?
Yeah.
That was literally exactly 4 minutes.
Boom. Bosh.
A 46-minute Nintendo Direct condensed into 4 minutes.
That's pretty much what's going on. And like I said, trailers in the description. I really recommend watching the Fire Emblem trailer. Amazing
that was
trailer.
epic.
It is an epic trailer. I'm not a Fire Emblem fan, but the trailer is pretty damn epic.
Exactly.
It's a very pretty game. It looks like it would run on Wii U. But
I've never played Fire Emblem. I don't know what it's about or anything, and I was getting hyped over the trailer. I was like, I need this. This is a good game.
I feel like it's a game you would like.
Yeah, probably.
I know you're only into Pokemon and everything, but you don't know anything about Fire Emblem?
No, nothing.
Like I said, I'm not a fan of Fire Emblem only because I don't like the gameplay, but I feel like you might. It's a strategy game. So you pretty much
strategy.
Yeah, it's a strategy game. You pretty much plot whatever to beat the level. But what was interesting about the first few Fire Emblem games is you get a bunch of characters, just a full roster of characters to help you pass and whatever, right? But if a character dies, he was dead the entire game. It's you lose that character, you're done. That guy's done. You can't ever get him back in the game.
Wow.
And it just added this new stress to it where you had to really protect your characters. You couldn't screw up.
It's like a Nuzlocke.
Like a Nuzlocke, yeah, exactly. So I feel like it's a game you would like. It's a very interesting strategy game. And
Cool.
It's also very cinematic. The storytelling apparently is very beautiful. So
Might have to check that out.
really, really cool. So that's pretty much the news I have on my news corner. Let's move to the competitive corner. I'm not doing the English accent today because my English, it's so bad. Let's move to the competitive corner with RhyQuinn.
RhyQuinn's competitive corner.
Alright, so, thank you, Lacen. We are in competitive corner, and the big news in the Smogon side of things today is Greninja has officially been banned to Ubers.
Boo.
There was a vote, there was a suspect test, people had to ladder high enough. If people laddered high enough, got high enough coil rating, which was above 2,700, they get to vote. There were 249 votes overall, and 205 of them were to ban Greninja. 44 of them were to not ban, so he goes to Ubers
Wow.
with an 82% majority.
Ridiculous.
Which is insane. So people really, really wanted that guy gone. And it's unfortunate that, again, Mega Mogwai isn't here, because he did bring up some really cool points as to why, Greninja's been bad and such. But I guess you'll just have to suffice with a video he made, I guess. You can go check that out, by the way. I'm sure Lacen will be very kind and put the link to that in the
Yes, I
description.
will. I will, because...
And, yeah, he put up a video explaining why he was going to vote to ban Greninja, and, yeah, I found it very informative, and it opened my eyes to the situation, so, yeah, go watch that. It's a very good video. Moving on from Greninja, though, I'll be sad to see that guy go, but I'm going to highlight another Pokemon in OU that I think deserves a bit more attention. This is a specific set, because I feel like the Pokemon's used quite a lot, but this set, not so much. So I'm really excited to highlight this one. So what I'm going to talk about today is a Scarfed Zapdos, Choice Scarfed Zapdos. This guy has pulled through for me in recent times. I had 2 Wi-Fi battles against Jordinez, and he won the match for me both times. When I did my Megalopunny team building stream, he pulled through and won me the match on like the test match, and then the actual episode when I was doing Stream Teams episode 3 on my YouTube channel, with that Megalopunny team, Choice Scarf Zapdos pulled through again and won me the match by killing Mega Metagross. So he's been putting in a lot of work for me, a lot of work, and I'll explain why. His HP stat is pretty good with 90. Defense is solid at 85, and special defense is pretty solid at 90. So he can take a hit. If he has to, he can take a hit. But then we get to his special attack and his speed. Special attack is base 125, and his speed is base 100, which is pretty ridiculous when you Scarf him. He's going to be outspeeding a lot of things, especially like other common Scarfers, but we'll get to that in a minute. The set that I would recommend, and the one that I've been using recently, is Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, U-Turn, and Heat Wave. Now I know it might seem weird to have Volt Switch and U-Turn, but there's so many ground types going around that the switch into the ground types are fairly expected now. So you just U-Turn on them and keep that switch initiative that you need to have. That is basically Zapdos' role. He's there to Volt Switch everything. That's his main purpose. And you have the U-turn for the ground types, just so you can keep that switch initiative. He's there to pop balloons, break sashes, break the multi-scales, and it just generally helps just to wear down your opponents as a whole. I feel like one of the most overlooked aspects of competitive battling as a whole is momentum and switch initiative and things like that. Like Volt turning, for me, using the combination of Volt Switch and U-turn on different Pokemon and stuff, has become one of my favourite playstyles in recent times, because it gives you that momentum you need to keep the offensive pressure on your opponent, keep them switching out and trying to guess what you're going to do. And Zapdos just perfectly helps with that. And the thing is as well, because Zapdos' base special attack is 125, and this is the stab Volt Switch we're talking about, it's actually going to do a decent amount of damage as well. Like, on a I don't know, an Azumarill, a Volt Switch does like 66 to 78% damage, and a Thunderbolt has a chance to OHKO it. Like, that's just straight up a butt ton of damage. And then as well, on something like on something that might want to, I don't know, potentially cause you some problems, if you try to do it against a Skarmory, for example, obviously he's more physically defensive usually, but a Volt Switch on that guy has a 37.5% chance to OHKO him, which is a huge, like, threat out the way for your team, for your more physical, offensive guys to come in and just start wrecking house, because of the massive physical wall in your opponent's team has just been taken care of, no problem. So there are some really big positives in Zapdos' favour here, in that he outspeeds common, like, quick Pokemon and Pokemon that rely on their speed, especially like Megas, like Mega Beedrill, Mega Lopunny, and Mega Metagross as well. All those like really quick Pokemon that, you know, Mega Beedrill with the U-turn, and Mega Lopunny with, you know, it goes for the fake out and then tries to high jump kick return, whatever, everything into death. He can outspeed all of them and Volt Switch and get the right switch into something that can take the move coming in, can Thunderbolt them if you think you're going to kill them, or you can Heat Wave as well, which of course is super effective against Mega Beedrill and Mega Metagross, which is a big deal. And as I said before, his base 125 special attack means he's actually going to be doing a lot of damage instead of just like some small, you know, chip damage to something. It's actually going to be doing a lot of damage. And check this out, right? A 252 special attack Zapdos, Volt Switch against a specially defensive Rotom, so 252 HP, 252 special defense with a nature that boosts special defense. So on a Rotom Wash, it still does 25 to 30% damage, which is huge. Doing that amount of damage to a specially defensive Rotom Wash, and it allows you to switch into something that can hit it on the physical side. So it's like you just put yourself in the perfect position to wreck that Rotom Wash's life, and if they have to switch out, then you can attack something else. It's just a great way to maintain momentum and put your opponent under pressure, pretty much. Now, of course, this set isn't flawless. There are some negatives to it. It does get outsped by other Scarf Pokemon, such as Scarf Garchomp, which is a very common Scarf Pokemon. It kind of gets walled by it, and a Stone Edge doesn't OHKO it, which is good, but a Stone Edge does 2-hit KO, and it kind of defeats the purpose of Zapdos, because it's not there to take damage, it's just there to Volt Switch out and just keep Switch Initiative, pretty much. When you combine that with Stealth Rocks as well, Stealth Rock damage to a Zapdos, it just ruins its purpose, because it can only Volt Switch like 4 times before it's dead. Which, it can do a lot of damage in those 4 turns, but that's not really enough. You want to be doing it like all match, pretty much. So you have to run some kind of Rapid Spin Defogger on your team. And I know normally you're going to need one anyway, but it's absolutely vital in this case that you need one. A good thing about Zapdos is that it does actually speed other common Scarf Pokemon, though, such as like Diggersby and I don't know, Hydreigon is another common Scarfer. So it's like those guys do get outsped by Zapdos, which is nice, and they might not see it coming if they don't think you're Scarfed. Another thing that's going to be a bit problematic for Zapdos is Landorus Therian, which is everywhere. Just the fact that you can't Volt Switch or Thunderbolt, Heat Wave's not going to do anything, and you can only U-turn. It's just really problematic for Zapdos to deal with, which is no fun. And that guy can set up rocks, again, which wrecks Zapdos on the switching. So that is it for Scarf Zapdos. That guy's been putting in some serious work for me recently, and I know in the 2 Wi-Fi battles I had against Jordinez, he put in so much work that Jordinez is now building a team around Scarf Zapdos because he wants to use it so bad. So, you know, it's good. Trust me on this one. It's good. One thing I did want to say just before we end Competitive Corner this week is I did just want to say last week someone asked us in the comment caboose for a Regice set, and I said do Weakness Policy Explosion. It was a bit of a fun set, but I didn't realise that Regice's base attack stat was only 50, which blows really bad. Boo. So I've actually come up with a different set that I want you to try. If you want to try it, that would be great, and if you can let me know how it goes, that would be awesome. If you could try a Regice with an Assault Vest, obviously Clear Body as its ability, with 252 HP, 252 special attack, 4 special defense, with a modest nature, with Flash Cannon, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Hidden Power Ground for the fire types, that would be awesome. Let me know how that goes. That guy can eat up special hits all damn day. He has base 200 special defense with the Assault Vest. It's absolutely ridiculous. So if you could try that, let me know how it goes. That would be great. That has been Competitive Corner, and that was Scarf Zapdos. So, normally at this point I hand over to Tay to take comment caboose, but on this occasion I'm going to hand over to myself to take the comment caboose.
Get ready for the comment caboose.
Right, we're in the comment caboose today. This is weird that I'm reading out questions. But
weird.
I'll try and do my best to replicate Tae's awesomeness. Okay. So, comments on the last subcast. We did get quite a few this week, which was nice. Bitz is telling me that I have a good taste in games, and Spyro was one of his first games, even before Pokemon. Good lad. I do like Spyro. We had a few comments from Euphoric. This guy's sticking up for his fellow English bro. Love you, man. He says, Faucet is not a word. Hashtag, Faucet is not a word. Faucet is not a word. And he's right. 100% right. And
Faucet's a word.
You have been outvoted on this occasion, my friend. You have been outvoted.
That's not fair. That is not fair, because when Mogwai was here, and when Tae was here, we had 3-on-2. And Mogwai's from Spain, and he still says Faucet's a word.
He lived in America.
Yeah, in America, Faucet's a word, and I don't know about this, but who's the superpower of the world right now?
Oh, shit.
Who's the superpower?
Anyway, moving on.
I think so.
Anywho, another comment from Euphoric saying that my last name, Quinnell, is totally pronounced with the emphasis on the L. If it was spelled with one L at the end, I'd say otherwise. But it is not. It's 2 L's, so it's Quinnell.
Explain Ariel.
Don't question English.
No.
English is weird. Oh god. What else we got? Another one from Euphoric again. He's saying, oh my god, you guys need to go and play Mass Effect. Possibly one of his favourite games ever. He's a Mass Effect fanboy. You did actually reply to that one, Lacen. So
I did.
You need to play that game.
I need to.
And I'm sure, I think Tae wanted to play that as well.
No, Tae's played it.
Tae's played it, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, and she pretty much said everything that I hear. It's an amazing game, beautiful storytelling, and like the fact that your decisions in conversation and in the game itself affect the ending.
Exactly.
It's pretty unbelievable. There's multiple endings, so
yeah,
that's really, really cool. I love games that do that.
Exactly, yeah. One thing you should check out then is the Stanley Parable, just saying. Because the Stanley Parable, it's a Steam game, and it's literally, the entire thing is different endings. There's like 20 or something like that.
Well, I mean, like, I've played games like that, but it's kind of, I'm satisfied with one ending. Alright, so like there's like this game out there that dropped in 2013 called Beyond Two Souls. Right. And it starred the chick from Juno, Ellen Page.
Yeah.
Ellen Page. And it's pretty much a movie that's interactive. You choose what she says and what she does with whatever, and then it affects your ending. There's like 9 or 14, something like that, different kinds of endings, and it's a long game though. It's like 15 hours worth of
Jesus
watching, and it's good and everything, but you know, like it's just like most of these kinds of games, like you sit there for a long time. I know Mass Effect has a lot of playtime.
Yep.
So, you know, I wouldn't sit there and watch every single ending unless it's on YouTube or something.
Of course.
That's about it, though.
But I'm sure you're still gonna play Mass Effect anyway.
Oh, I'm gonna play Mass Effect anyway. It sounds like my kind of game.
Yeah, exactly.
Just I wouldn't play it like 4 times to see different alternative endings unless it was that good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, and then we have one last comment from Ipa. Legend, he always comes to my streams and stuff. And he says, what would your dream metagame be in Pokemon? And that's a really hard question to answer off the top of my head.
Same.
But, dream metagame in Pokemon. I would get rid of all water and grass types so Rhyperior can be a beast.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Like, I can't think of something off the top of my head. We'll have to think about that one. Maybe we can come back next week with a better answer.
Maybe. I think we'll save that one for next week.
Save that one for next week. We'll try and come up with an answer for that. But that's all the comments we got on the subcast. We did get a lot of questions on Ask FM, so I'm going to try and get some of these try and get some of these and get some good questions off here. So, someone asked, when are we getting a Battle Frontier DLC?
That's what we were waiting for in the Nintendo Direct.
Exactly.
And it's like everybody, like you can. How many people were who were watching the Twitch stream?
Oh, it was something like 60,000, 65,000?
That's ridiculous. So many people were there. And Now, we were trying to keep track of the comments box, and it was just flying with, like, just a bunch of refreshes of, like, 30, 40 comments at a time.
Yep.
But there was a lot, like, from the comments that we did spot, there were a lot of people that were like, where's the Battle Frontier DLC?
Yep.
You know, like, we were approaching the end of the Direct, and still nothing Pokemon, just a bunch of new Nintendo 3DS garbage.
Yep.
So...
that was a bit annoying. I was expecting it, but I'm sure we'll get it at some point. It's not... I'm pretty certain they're going to do it. They put a lot of hints in the game, so it's like... they're going to do it, I'm pretty sure. I just don't know when.
Like... I'm glad that Nintendo is playing around with DLC, because, like, they have that one game that I just told you, it comes in installments of episodes,
Yeah.
So that means you can download either a Season Pass, which gives you all 4 of them for a certain amount of money. It's cheaper than getting all 4 of them individually, it's just that getting all of them individually is a bit more affordable, you know what I mean, because you drop smaller amounts of money in a larger span of time. So... you know, the fact that they're playing around with things like that, that's good. But it also makes me suspect that the Battle Frontier will possibly be a you have to pay for the DLC. That's
which would suck.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt Game Freak on it. I'm sure that because the Battle Frontier is possibly what made Hoenn fanboys,
Yeah.
like, it will be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that it'd be the king of DLCs for anything Nintendo.
True. I'm sure it would be. But to pay for it, though? I don't know.
I mean, I'm guessing $5. $5 for us. I don't know what that would translate into pounds. Maybe they would charge you £5.
That would be too much. I think.
That is a lot of money for DLC. For us,
Yeah.
anyway. It's like, what, $8?
Yeah.
Yeah, so... you know, but that's just my guess. That's me personally.
Yeah.
Or maybe they might have to make you download something else in order to get it, which I wouldn't mind.
Maybe. Or they're going to do Delta Emeralds, I don't know. I highly doubt it, though, because they did the Delta episode.
They did the Delta episode, yeah.
Yeah, so there's not much point. Anyway, so I don't know when we're going to have that one. That was a poor answer, because we just said, yeah, it's going to happen. Which wasn't the question, we said when, but I don't know when. I thought it was going to be now, but it's not.
I really hope before the release of the next Pokemon game.
Yes, 100%.
Maybe sometime soon, who knows.
Yeah. Alright, this one's a really interesting one. And it says, does Zygarde have a viability niche in OU? If so, what Pokemon pair well with it, either defensively or offensively? And I just want to say, I think Zygarde has now moved up to borderline. It's not UU anymore. It's actually borderline. So... it can only be used in OU anymore, so I'm sure it does, actually. Otherwise, I don't think they would have moved it up. So, I know Lacen has tried to use Zygarde a little bit, or thought about using him, so do you have any insight on this one?
Spoiler alert for anybody who, whatever, the Battle Subway is conducting their own league.
Indeed.
Out of fun, and it's good for the viewers, and then eventually we'll open up a sub-league to the public, but... right now, RhyQuinn's organizing it, and we had to do draft picks. And I was looking into a bunch of pokes, and I decided on Zygarde at one point until I chose a different poke. But Zygarde is very interesting. Now, one thing that's phenomenal about Zygarde is that he's a legendary. So his base stat total is 600, which means he's really well-rounded in every single stat. If I'm not mistaken... He has those weird stats that, like, ends in, like, 1s and not 5s.
Yeah.
You know, like, in multiples of 5s. So, like, I know that the weird one is his HP and his defense. I can't remember the other ones, to tell you the truth. I was really eyeballing his HP and defense, though, and his special defense. Because his HP is at a solid 108. I remember that. It's a 108 HP stat, which is very high for anything. And his special... his defense stat is at 121, and his special defense stat is at 95. And other things that he can learn are things like Glare, which is automatic paralysis. Yep. And he learns Toxic. He learns Dragon Tail, which really, really helps out a lot. And he also knows Extreme Speed.
Oh, wow.
Which is a very interesting move, seeing how, like, he doesn't really need it. His base stat is at 90, or base speed stat is at 95, which isn't bad. It's not terrible. But the thing is, what I'm saying, he also knows Pain Split, which is fun.
Oh, nice.
And like this guy offers like a lot of utility, and he has a solid 100 attack stat. So what I was thinking about putting on my Zygarde was making him a completely offensive set. That's one of the sets that you would run. So like if you invest in his defense and give him an assault vest, and also in defense or invest in his attack, you have a really bulky offensive Pokemon, which is what's good about the legendary OU pokes, like Kieran Black, for example. Diancie is also a fabulous OU poke. Mega Diancie is in Borderline right now, and that's it's an example of like a legendary that just puts in work because of its ridiculously well-rounded stats.
Yep.
The only thing that's wrong with Zygarde is that he's a dragon and ground type.
Yep.
Which means priority ice shards coming from a Mamoswine is absolutely disgusting.
Exactly.
There are so many dragon moves that are in OU. I'm not sure about dragon types, but a lot of things can use dragon moves, and that's weak. And then fairies are also always a problem in that tier 2. So and his move pool isn't deep, unfortunately. He has a lot of special attacks, but because his special attack stat is his lowest stat, you don't want to build up on it. Like, he can learn, Draco Meteor, which is like the top dragon move, along with Outrage. And he learns Outrage, but who likes to be confused? Like, nobody wants to be confused.
Yep.
He knows things like Earth Power, and that's a good stab, but his special attack stat. And his signature move is a physical ground type attack, which also provides stab, but it's not as powerful as Earthquake. So, that's why he's been in UU for a long time, because he's just kind of like wasted potential. But Zygarde's not a bad poke. If you pair him with something that builds him up, so any sort of baton passer, that's a given. Any sort of baton passer to anybody's good, But
he can learn Dragon Dance, right?
Oh, he knows Dragon Dance and Coil. That's another thing about it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so, if you want to increase your accuracy as well, then Coil's the way to go. But, anything that can... the only support and only thing that you can tag with him are something that covers his ice weakness. That's all I can personally think of, because the guy is so bulky, so he's good in singles. Can I picture this guy in doubles? I'm not too sure how good he would be, because, like I said, his move pool is so shallow, and doubles require it mandates like a deep move pool, because you need like deep stuff to do doubles. So, he's not the best Pokemon to use in OU. He had a good home in UU. I don't know why he's in Borderline now, but
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything that he can do in OU. Not yet, and I don't know any Pokemon that can support him directly.
Yeah.
Only problem, that's it.
But that was a very good answer. That was very good.
Thank you. See, I really considered him using him in the league, but I chose Kieran Black instead. So
exactly. This is a really interesting question. I like this one. How do online simulators like Pokemon Showdown compare with handheld games? That's a really interesting question. I like that.
I haven't played many online simulators. I mean, like, Showdown's obviously the big one, and then there was something I used to use called Pokemon Online.
That was also in the question. It said online simulators like Pokemon Showdown and Pokemon Online, etc.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, because that was like an executable file. You had to like download it instead of like play it on the website.
Yeah.
What was the question? Like,
how do they compare to handheld games? And for me personally, I love playing on like ORAS much better than Showdown. I feel like any matches I play on ORAS, they like, for me, they have like a lot more importance, and they feel like bigger matches than Showdown. I think Showdown promotes like a quicker playing style without thinking things through so much, which I don't think is as good. Doesn't lead to as good battles. And of course, it looks a hell of a lot better on ORAS than it does on Showdown. Just like move animations and stuff. So.
But I think that's what makes the impact on ORAS a lot better than in Showdown and online simulators like that. See, the thing is, a lot of people, they go onto Showdown because it's the competitive scene. All the competitive kids are there. But what people need to realize is, like, Showdown should be used as a tool. It's a battle simulator.
Exactly.
You should use it so you come up with a team, you come up with an idea in your head, you you make this amazing team, and then you take that team and you put it in your game. You raise them, make them Kalos bred, or you can gen them, whatever you want. Find out what works, and then compete. Because when I played the poor ORS Wi-Fi battles, if I were to face somebody and they were about to use a Draco Meteor, and I saw that in animation, I'm like, damn it. I don't want to get hit by that because it just looks like it hurts. It's more tense as opposed to like Showdown and things like that, where the animation is literally them bumping into the other thing, and it just happens so fast. Like you said, you don't think about it, and it's boring sometimes. Like sometimes I sit there. The only time that's fun is when you're building a new team, and it's like, oh, this would be cool with that, and that would be cool with that, and that's what it's all about.
Exactly. Yeah. I think Showdown is a really, really good tool to test things out and to come up with new concepts and things like that. But that's exactly what it should be. You should test them out on Showdown and then make it on ORAS and then use it on ORAS where it's supposed to be, kind of thing.
Yeah,
it shouldn't replace it.
And it's doing that. It's doing that for a lot of people too, and that really sucks.
Yeah.
Even though like Pokemon has more fans than it ever has, people are still like dropping ORAS and like Battle Spot because they hate the legendaries and they're comfortable with Smogon. So
yeah,
like it, and it sucks too. Like it really, really sucks. But Wi-Fi battles are definitely a bit more exhilarating than Showdown and other simulators are. But the simulators are good tools. They're good tools.
Exactly. Yep, that was a good one. Okay, what else we got? Let's see. I had a question. Where did it go? Oh, someone asked again. How do you pronounce Quinnell? We settled this one.
It's Quinnell.
Quinnell. God damn it. Okay, let's go on to another question. Who's the funniest person in the Battle Subway?
Well,
I mean,
I don't know.
Honestly,
we're all so different.
That's really hard to say because I feel like Bitz is the most unexpectedly funny. He'll just be like really quiet, and then out of nowhere he'll just crack a joke that will have you in stitches. Like he'll just come out of nowhere and just make you laugh so hard.
Yeah,
so he's funny in that way. Joey is so good at doing impressions and voices and stuff that it's absolutely hilarious.
The noises that he makes during Skype calls kill me.
Oh my goodness.
They're so ridiculous.
Yep, it's so good. And then there's Jordan, who is like either sometimes like really like quiet, and then the next Skype call he'll just be super like hyped and cracking jokes all over the place, which is a really funny like contrast. So it's like that makes me laugh as well. So that's hilarious as well. You have Tae, who's just weird.
Tae's so weird. She's so weird.
She's weird in a good way though. And she makes us laugh all the damn time. And then there's obviously Lacen, who's hilarious. You guys know Lacen. He's that guy.
Yep.
Whatever.
That guy.
And then there's me, who's the guy with the really bad puns, pretty much.
Yeah, but they're funny though.
Yeah.
It's like the Battle Subway, we just have like such interesting characters. Like when Joey recruited all of us, he chose like such good personalities. The thing is, we're all so different. Like, so even though it's just a good mix of personalities. Like, there are certain times where I crack up, like Bitz. He's unexpected humor. Like, he'll stay quiet for 40 minutes, and as soon as something pops up, like in his little Danish head, as soon as something like, is like where he can like a joke opens up, he just delivers, and it's hilarious.
It's so funny.
Jordan, when he's pissed off, you want to be around Jordan. It's like when Jordan's angry, talk to him because he's hilarious.
Yep.
He's the kind of guy that will have you in stitches from laughter just because he's ranting about everything he's pissed off at it. It's a good time.
It's hilarious.
And then Joey's just all about black humor.
He really is, isn't he?
Joey's when he's being like it's funny. Joey's a character, man.
A character and a half. Yeah.
He's funny, and then RhyQuinn's just punny. RhyQuinn's witty, and you also want to be pissed off when RhyQuinn's around. I mean, you want to be around when RhyQuinn's pissed off. Sorry. Yeah, because like
which isn't very often, by the way.
When Rye flips out at something, it's so exaggerated. It's so fun. It could be the smallest thing, like Showdown's taking too long, and you'll fucking flip shit. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When something frustrates me, everyone's gonna know about it.
but it's not very rare that I get like so mad to the point where I have to flip out or something.
So funny.
But when I do,
because you went to posh school, right?
posh school.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
He's so proper, so like he talks at a decent volume, and he's so nice and respectable to everyone. But as soon as he gets mad, he's this new person. He's like an angry drunk Brit, and but like you're not drunk, you just sound like an angry drunk, and it's hilarious. When you act mad, it's too. I'll never forget that one time you like fake flipped out at me.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Oh my god.
That was too much fun. What was it? We were going to record something, wasn't it, on Showdown? And then I think you were talking to your girlfriend or something. I was just like, Lacen, can you shut up? We're trying to record it. Lacen, please, just shut up. Oh.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Up,
Jesus
Christ.
It was hilarious.
Oh my God.
It had me in tears.
Of course,
thought we were weird,
it's probably not hilarious on the podcast. You probably had to be there, but that's besides the point, alright? It was funny.
There's just something about English people being angry that's just so funny, because you don't expect it. Like, when Americans get angry, it's like, you ignorant people, what the hell? You guys are so stupid. But the English people, like, especially in America, when English people get mad, it's just a trip, man. It is so strange and so foreign. It's either we're A, terrified, or B, laughing out of our, like, pants. Like, it's fun stuff. We have good people in the Battle Subway.
We do. It's a really good combo. Senior us at who's the funniest person? We're all funny. We're all winners today.
Yeah.
That was a good question, though. I did enjoy that question. We've got another one here. This is a cool one. If Pokemon was only about pure strength, which one Pokemon would you have?
What does that mean?
Like, if it was just about pure strength, is it like just... I don't know. Surely you go for something like Mega Mewtwo Y has the highest special attack stat. Or, what is it? Mega Mawile has the highest attack stat or something like that?
I think so, because of huge power.
Because of huge power.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could go for something like Zekrom, because he's strong, but he still looks like a badass as well. Might not be the strongest, but he still looks
If it was based off strength, I feel like Rampardos would move straight to OU. No hesitation.
Yep, 100%.
What's his base attack stat? Like 180?
It's ridiculous.
Like
I'm going to look this up right now, because I have to know. It is insane. I think before Gen 6, or before like Megas and stuff, he had the highest base attack stat. 165.
Ridiculous.
That's insanity.
Mega Gallade's at 160, and he's a Mega.
Yeah.
Like, Rampardos' base attack is 165. That's insane. Kieran Black is at 170.
Yeah.
Base attack stat. Like, that's 5 points higher than...
That's insane.
But that's a legendary. Like,
exactly.
that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Slacking, too. Slacking would be up there. Like, really up
100%.
there.
He has base 160 attack.
That's ridiculous.
Straight up.
Crazy.
Straight up. And he has base 100 speed.
I know.
What up with that?
When I heard that he has a really high base stat total.
Yeah, he does. It's 670.
Yeah, I thought he was that's legendary status right there.
Oh,
man.
Above legendary, but he's just because he has Truant.
Truant, yeah.
Just because screws him over.
Like, it just screws him over so bad.
So bad.
Don't people skill swap with him in in VGC? Isn't that a thing?
Yep.
Yeah, they skill swap to Simple or something.
That's just ridiculous.
Disgusting. And then Slacking is just an absolute murderer.
Absolute murderer right there.
Because he's also bulky. Like, everything about him is so high, man. So there's not one bad stat. It's ridiculous.
Yep. Alright, I think we've got time for one, maybe two more questions. So we'll go. Let's see here. Do you think there are any other Pokemon in the OU tier that should be suspected?
Now we're about to get into a Greninja.
Oh god.
Because with Greninja gone, the game has changed.
It has.
And that's a fact. Like, when Mogwai was here, he was talking about some of the pokes that would make a return to OU,
Mm-hmm.
and he put a lot of emphasis on the other frog, which was Toxicroak, and he
Yeah.
made really good points because he's another gunk shot stab user, and Toxicroak is already a serious threat. Like, play UU, Toxicroak is one of the most run pokes there, and he's deadly. And it's crazy to think that because of the addition of Greninja, the entire tier shifted because of his appearance.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, people have to build a counter around a Greninja. And he was banned because you can't really come up with one, right?
Exactly. He basically doesn't have a counter because he's so versatile.
Well, the only counter that I saw to Greninja was Talonflame. And I feel like if anybody were to get a suspect test, it might be Talonflame.
The thing with Talonflame is, it's strong, sure. It gets walled by rock types. That's it. Just rock types, straight up. Just completely destroy that guy. Brave Bird, resisted. Flare Blitz, resisted. What the hell else are you gonna do? It's a Talonflame. What else can he do? U-turn? Great.
True, but I mean, like, the Gale Wing's priority is such a threat. Like,
It is,
that was,
usually.
in my head, that was my counter to Greninja, because Greninja is so frail. Nobody ever made Greninja defensive.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because, he doesn't really allow
It depends what you call that's another thing I need to get clued in on, is the actual, definitions and terms. Because, a counter, per se, is something you can switch in on a Pokemon, take damage, and then fire back with something else which does more. That's, supposedly, the actual term for a counter. If you have to sack something off and let something die to bring in a Pokemon that takes out the other Pokemon that's just taken you out, for example, Greninja, then technically it's not a counter. It's a check, is what it's called. You can...
Oh, the terminology is too much, man.
Yeah, so it's Talonflame's a good check, because, it's going to be a good offensive Pokemon, again, one-on-one against Greninja, it will do well. But, you can't switch in on Greninja. That's the problem. That was one of the big reasons why it got banned as well. You cannot switch in on that guy with anything. You really can't.
Well, I mean, I agree with the ban. I really agree with the ban now that I think about it. Because, you think about the counters to Greninja, and you need something that's absolutely bulky.
Yeah.
But when you think bulk, usually those pokes turn out to be really heavy, and he has low kick. And,
Yeah.
that affects the weight. I know that much.
Yeah.
Right? And there's also Grass Knot, which is also annoying, too.
Exactly.
So Greninja was a threat. He does belong. He doesn't. I don't think he belongs in Universe, but he does not belong in OU anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. He doesn't.
So
And he completely changed the metagame. Miguel's making some great points about how he did completely, overthrow the entire metagame as a whole. It was over-centralizing team building and stuff like that.
It was. And now that he's gone, it makes for a lot of things. But I can't think of another poke that banned from OU.
Not that I can think of right now.
No, what you read a list about the top.
Oh, the viability rankings?
Yeah. What was in the same rank as Greninja? Because I remember you mentioned there was 5 others, I think.
There was, Megalopony is now up there as well, I'm fairly certain. Megalopony is rated, S rank for, OU viability rankings, which is the top it could be. It's kind of like a one-trick pony, but it does it so well that it's amazing, pretty much.
Well, yeah, it's scrappy with, and the great move pool, so...
Exactly. I'm going to
hit
see
anything.
if I can really quickly see if we can get the OU viability rankings real quick.
Well, I can't. I'm trying to think of other pokes that would be there. I would imagine Thunderous Incarnate, possibly.
Maybe?
I mean, possibly. Only because, the taunt is real.
It is.
And taunt really throws off a bunch of pokes.
Exactly. Whoa, that's much further back than I thought it was. I'm going to ask one more question just while I try and look that up.
Sure.
And the last question we're going to do is, how do you seduce the ladies?
So, do you like Pokemon cards?
Yeah. I do.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I just seduce with my superior Pokemon knowledge. That's how it goes. I just say, hey, I won a tournament once. and then they're all over me, pretty much.
Nice,
That's
man.
pretty much the way it goes. I'm trying to find this damn post about the viability rankings, and I can't find it anywhere.
How do you
That's
seduce them?
really annoying. There was like an update thing, but I'm gonna see if this will do. Okay, S rank: Landorus Therian, Mega Lopunny, Mega Metagross, and Mega Sableye.
I
That's
forgot
it.
Sableye made a comeback because of Mega.
The thing is, I way prefer its normal to its Mega because of Prankster.
Because of the Prankster, yeah. Well, anything Prankster is phenomenal. But,
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, I guess Mega Sableye will be... the magic bounce is so threatening. It
is, but it's kind of... I wouldn't call it predictable, but it's like, it's very easy to just not use a move that would get magic bounced. Pretty much.
True, but a lot of teams, they want those burns, they want that toxic.
Yeah, of
they
course.
want the paralysis, they want all that crap.
Yeah.
So,
Out of those, I don't think any of them would get suspect tested. Maybe Mega Metagross, but I don't
would
think
say
it will.
Mega Metagross as well, only because its stats are ridiculous.
They are, but
But-
I feel like you can deal with it fairly easily. Plus, if he just gets burned, GG. Like,
Yeah, true that. And his typing doesn't really allow for, a lot of for him to go to Ubers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he's a Steel Psychic. He's weak to a lot of things that are big in OU. Ground and Fire are just so big in OU where it's kind of
Exactly.
like,
Yep. And Landorus Therian, I would not see that guy suspect tested. He's weak to the Ice Shard, which is so real. Ice is huge in OU at the minute. So there's no way that guy gets suspect tested. He's just very good at what he does, but he can be countered fairly easily. So, yeah.
Yeah, he belongs in OU. I can't... He's like Greninja in the sense where... He can't move to Ubers. There's no way. There's no way the man can move to Ubers.
No. He's just very good, but he's not too good. Pretty much. So I think that concludes it for the Comment Caboose today. And that brings us to the end of the subcast. We have overrun a little bit, actually, but oh well. So,
Oh, well.
back to you, Lacen.
Back to me. Well, thank you guys for listening to the Battle Subcast. Now make sure you subscribe or follow depending whether you're on YouTube or SoundCloud. Make sure you go on our Twitter and always ask us questions in any of the comment boxes or on ask.fm/battlesubway. We like doing the comment caboose. It's probably one of the most fun parts of the subcast, only because we like to hear all your questions, and you can ask us any kinds of questions. We always get weird ones too.
Exactly. Like how
also-
we introduce ladies.
That's
Weird
a
question.
weird one.
But also fun.
I also want to first I want to thank Mega Mogwai and apologize once again that I screwed up the audio. Hopefully we can have you back again. And I also want to take the time to say we hit over 110 subscribers on the Battle Subway.
Yay!
In a less we got that gain so quickly. So to everybody who actually sits there and listens to the podcast and watches the videos, likes the videos, comments on the videos, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to us. And I'm speaking for everybody in the Battle Subway. We went into this whole thing not knowing what to expect, and then we had fun and revamped the channel, and we don't have much content, but the fact that you guys are watching and sharing, it means the world to
It does.
us.
It really does. And I just want to... I'm curious to see how many people have got to this point in the subcast. If you have got to this point in the subcast, I want you to go down in the comments on either SoundCloud or YouTube and just leave #ladies, because why not? Ladies.
#ladies.
#ladies. That's what I want you to leave. So we can see who's actually got to the end of the subcast. It'll be interesting to see. So, yeah. If you have to do that, please.
So, once again, guys, thank you so much for listening to the Battle Subcast, the Pokemon podcast that keeps you on the right track. My name is LacenMC,
I am RhyQuinn.
and we wish you a very merry day.
Merry day.
Very merry day.
See ya.